Hi everybody, I'm Missi Matthews. He's Bob Pompeani, and welcome to the Extra Point presented by Microsoft Surface. The Steelers had a chance in Baltimore yesterday to tie up the AFC North. No hats and t-shirts were passed out. It's still in the realm of possibilities, but in a game that was on the line for the division, in a place where you've won 4 straight,
right.
Turnovers, mistakes, lack of communication at times really hampered the Steelers' efforts.
It really did, and that's what you'll take away from this game. They were in position actually to take a win on the road. They had tied the game up at 17, and then all of a sudden things started to change. Russell Wilson uncharacteristically had those 2 mistakes that really took points off the board, but also allowed Baltimore to put points on the board. And this is the one we're talking about, Missi, where, if he slides first and goal, most likely they're going to score something here. Instead, he gets hit by Darius Washington, ball comes out, they recover, and they march 96 yards. And so that was a 14-play swing at a very critical time of the game.
Yeah, he had the first down at that point. Coach Tomlin even said retrospectively, trying to do a little too much, but as you said, it just felt like things were not rolling the Steelers' way. That pick six, definitely the one where you felt like the momentum completely shifted in favor of the Ravens. Russ said after the game they all stayed in it, but you could feel it, especially in that stadium. Lamar Jackson had never started against Pittsburgh in a stadium full of fans. His only start was during COVID, where nobody was there. But for the Steelers, who have had their number, 8 of the last 9 games winning, heading into that game yesterday, it just felt like it was not their day and not too much went right.
I thought there was a taunting at the end of that, by the way. Marlon Humphrey was doing something.
Yes.
That sometimes they call it when you don't expect it, and that was obvious, and they did not call it, which doesn't matter anything about that play. It was going to stand as a pick six.
Well, he did it before he scored.
Right. I was hoping the ball would come out, how guys do it before it gets to the end zone, and then all of a sudden it's a touchback. But anyway, it was just a bunch of mistakes, and if you make those against good teams, you pay the price for it. And the other thing they couldn't do was control Derrick Henry. First time they played, Missi, 13 carries, 62 yards. This time, totally different, 24, 162. And man, he is very good when he gets into open space, and there were some big holes that he took advantage of.
Yeah, and I think it only took a few drives of the Ravens for him to go over the total he had week 11, like you said. And he really did just make it very difficult for the Steelers defense, taking multiple guys, making missed tackles. He was a force to be reckoned with, and he's played the Steelers 3 times previously heading into yesterday's game. Twice with the Titans, and obviously that once with the Ravens, never had over 100 yards. And for the Steelers, they haven't had a 100-yard rusher go against them since the Giants were in Pittsburgh. Something that they were able to really control, but the laundry list of injuries, including Larry Ogunjobi, not having Deshaun Elliott, not having Dante Jackson, losing Joey Porter, things were not going well for that side of the ball.
Yeah, and they lost Justice Hill on that play to a concussion, a hard hit by KZ, and he hit on head right on the turf, and it was cold down there, obviously. So even though they lost him, their offense continued to just chew up yardage when they could. And when you do that, you're on the field quite a bit, first down after first down, third and short, second and short. It makes it very difficult on a defense. And for the last 2 weeks, the Steelers, I thought, were on the field more than they wanted to be defensively. And against good teams, you're going to pay the price.
Well, yeah, especially coming off a game in Philly. You had, one less day to prepare to head to face Baltimore and the Ravens. And it just, what did they have? 2 drives in the second half in Philly, and then you go into a game like this. Not advantageous and something you want to do, but I think whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, they play very quickly again, and you have the Chiefs coming to town, so you have to very quickly start focusing on that, realizing you have 2 games left to prove yourself and to try to win the North.
And the good news from today's press conference was that Mike Tomlin said there is a, quote, real chance that George Pickens could be back. Others too, we'll see how this week goes, but what he means to this offense is very much apparent when you watch him not play, because then all of a sudden guys like Pat Freiermuth and others get covered quite a bit more than they would. He's got to be out there, and when he is, I think Steve Spagnuolo will have a lot more to worry about than the last 2 weeks.
Yeah, and to see the Steelers offense hopefully get the run game going again, where it's more consistent, would also be great. But Pittsburgh is 2-0 on Christmas Day, hoping to make it 3-0. Thanks for breaking it down for us, and
Missi,
early Merry Christmas.
Yeah, hopefully Christmas will be a good day once again to get 3-0. We'll take that.
Yes, we will take it. All right, thanks so much for joining us here on the Extra Point presented by Microsoft Surface. Have a happy holidays. We'll see you next week.